Is that as good of 5 days as you could possibly expect it from the toss all the way to the final wicket today?
Yeah, thanks, Roger. It was. Yeah, I think the toss was always going to be important, but from that point on, it was really crucial that we exploited that and we made the most of the opportunity to bat first on that wicket. Speak about batting long and making big scores first innings in these conditions, and we did that brilliantly well. And then from that point on, I thought we played all the cricket and we were in control of the game the whole way through. And the guys were exceptional today, in particular. To bowl them out in that manner was fabulous. So a really pleasing performance and fills us with confidence going into the rest of the series.
Yeah, fantastic performance from the bowlers today, but if you're going to single someone out, we do it so often. Jimmy Anderson, with that spell of his there. Are there any more words that we can come up with to describe his performance?
How do I get
at
it
his
onto my
age as
phone?
well?
Just go, I reckon. Just leave it there. I think he seems to get better all the time. His skill level keeps improving. His work rate's as good as anyone's I've ever seen, and his fitness levels are right up there. Probably the best he's ever been in his whole career. So he's a credit to English cricket. It sets a great example to all the young players. And when you're under pressure or you need something to happen, when you've got him in your armoury, it's a very comfortable position to be in.
There are a few people over here when you were batting on yesterday thinking, has he gone on too long? Has he given himself enough time? Was there ever a doubt that you had enough time on this wicket to get those wickets you needed to win the match?
As probably the batter that spent most time out there on that wicket, I felt like I had the best gauge of it. And I knew that with the outfield as quick as it was, with the ground being as small as it was, didn't want to give India any chance of winning the game. Wanted to make sure that, more than anything, that there was only 2 possible results. Right at the start of the series, having played all the cricket, it would have really been damaging if we'd have lost this game. So I knew that the way that it deteriorated throughout the last 3 days in particular, that coming into today, it was going to happen even quicker again. And all we needed to do was be relentless with the areas we were bowling. If we put the ball in good areas for long periods of time, the wicket would do the rest for us. And it was just about holding on. The bowlers dealt with that pressure exceptionally well. And, really pleased with how it turned out. We've still, half a day left here.
Just finally from me, I think that you're now equal with Michael Vaughan, most wins as captain, 26 wins. I've seen people like Michael Vaughan, like Alistair Cook, they describe it as one of the great England victories of all time. Where does it rank for you as a captain, as a player, in terms of England wins?
Oh, it's certainly a very good victory, but in the scheme of the series, it's just a start. We know that India are an extremely good team, especially in these conditions. And they're a very proud nation as well. They've got some exceptional players, so they'll come back hard at us. But to be sat here 1-0 up it's a really good play. Very proud of the way we've played this week. And we've set a benchmark now. We've got something to work from to compare ourselves to. And I still think there's areas we can improve on, which again excites me. We've played as well as we have done, and we can still get better. So. It's certainly extremely pleasing to stay here right now.
Thanks a lot, Joe. Congratulations again. I know a lot of people lined up to speak to you, so I'll let them jump in. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Simon Mann and then Rory Dollard. Go ahead, Simon.
It's not Simon, it's Daniel Norcross. Simon's next door with his AirPods. I just wanted to ask Joe some words on Jack Leach. He came back so strongly in that second innings after taking a bit of a mauling at Pant. What did you make of his performance today?
It was brilliant. I thought they both were. Bessie as well. First innings, he took 4 wickets. Leachy obviously came into the wickets today, but as a whole bowling group, we were going to have to work together if we were going to take 20 wickets out here. And I think collectively, everyone did their roles exceptionally well. Jack was asked to do a job against Pan, take a bit of a risk, see if he'll take you on, and try and create a chance. And unfortunately, didn't quite fall for him, but for him to have the character and I suppose a skill level to come back from that shows where he's at with his cricket. And it's really pleasing to see him go out and get his rewards today, because throughout the whole test match, he was asked to perform in a certain way and he delivered every time. So I couldn't be more proud of him.
Virat Kohli said in his post-match presentation that England played more professionally. Was that sort of the effect of having come from Sri Lanka, having played those 2 tests so recently, do you think?
Well, I think it certainly served as well coming out here, having faced the volume of spin that we have, having the confidence of winning, and playing on a similar kind of wicket. It wasn't the same by any stretch, but the tempo of the cricket that you play in the subcontinent, I think, it served us really well coming into this game. I think the pleasing thing for me was we set out to score big first innings runs. We delivered it. We said we needed to be smart about how we're going to construct 20 wickets, and we delivered it. And the challenge will be again when we turn up for the next game. Can we replicate that? Can we go one better? Can we keep looking to improve as a team? And can we take it on individually to be that person that makes a difference?
And lastly, I mean, there's going to be changes. There has to be changes because Josh Butler's presumably leaving to come back to England. Do you anticipate rotating throughout the series despite having this 1-0 lead?
Well, we've got options. I think that's the beauty of how we've gone about things throughout this winter. I think it's really important that we look after our players and that everyone comes into the game fit, fresh and ready and able to deliver their skill at 100%. But we can look at selection and squad when we know what the wicket's going to look like, how it's going to perform, what we think is the best way of exploiting it. And those guys that get the chance to play, they have a responsibility to throw everything into that performance and those 5 days. And if it's someone's turn to sit out and have a rest, then so be it. They've got to get themselves ready for their next chance. And the work ethic from the whole squad, even the guys that aren't in the squad and that have travelled with us, working extremely hard. They're getting better all the time. They're adapting to these conditions really well. And it's serving us well out on the field. We've seen the results. So we've got to keep looking to apply ourselves, have that same attitude, and not be happy with what we accomplished this week. We need to keep going. We need to keep trying to find ways of looking to develop as a team and know that there's a lot of hard work.
Thanks, Joe. Okay. Congratulations. I'll hand over.
Can we go to Rory, please, and then we will go to Richard. Rory.
Well done. With this morning, back a little bit, and you gave the other 3 guys a go stuff. Should we talk about too because you felt reverse was going to be his best weapon, or was that a bit of good fortune? What do you reckon?
I'm really sorry, Rory. You were cutting out there. I didn't quite catch that.
So I was saying you held Jimmy back a little bit this morning. Was that a result of you feeling that the ball was going to start going hard with reverse, or did you get a bit lucky with that?
No, I think you're always looking to try and maximise the skill level of each bowler. I thought while the ball was a little bit firmer, Jofra was going to be able to exploit the surface better. And then when it obviously reverse swing came into it, the skill level and accuracy of Jimmy was always going to be very potent. So it worked nicely for us. And to deliver a spell of bowling like that, it really did change the whole dynamic of the day. So we've come to expect it from him. We shouldn't really, because it's unbelievable that time and time again he can put things like that. But he's had some fun in the game.
When we lost the first game series.
Lost you again, Rory. Sorry.
No. Okay, I'll try once more and then I'll give away. England have lost the first game of a series quite a few times. How does it change the dynamic of a series to go behind at home, do you think?
I don't think it changes a huge amount. You still come into the next game with the same amount of desire to win, the same plan. You try and learn the lessons from the previous game. The great thing for us is we're ahead of things right now. We sit here in a very good position and we've got to take that confidence forward. But we can't be happy with what we've done. We have to keep looking to get better. I know I keep talking about it. We've got to keep finding ways of improving all the time. We're a young side in many ways. We've got some experienced players, but we're generally quite a young side. And we have to keep looking to get better. We have to keep striving for improvement. And if we keep doing that, we'll keep pushing ourselves forward as a team and keep challenging the best teams in the world in their own conditions.
Okay, we'll move on. One question each going forward. Can we go with Richard Gibson and then Will Macpherson, please?
Yeah, hi Joe. I just want to ask you. Actually, Rory asked one of the question I wanted to ask. But in terms of you say the challenges ahead and improving, what are the areas for improvement on a performance like that?
I think keep being more consistent. Look at the second innings with the bat. We could have probably gone about things slightly different. Been a little bit smarter about how we're going to score our runs. Once we got to 400, could we have pressed the accelerator a little bit sooner? And been really clear about where our boundary options were when the pitch did get very extreme and start spinning as it did. Also think with the ball, we can probably contain a little bit better at times. You know, these are world-class players, some of the best players of spin that we'll ever come up against. And we expect them to counter us very well. But, you know, can we just squeeze the game a little bit longer? Can we build pressure in a slightly different way when it's not spinning as much on days 1 and 2? You know, they're the small things that we can keep improving at. And, you know, I say that they are very small things because we did so many good things this week.
Thank you. Well done.
Okay, Will Macpherson and then John Etheridge.
Hi, Joe. How sort of wary are you of the fact that when Australia were the last team to win in India in 2017, that was also the first test of a series that they went on to lose fairly comfortably in the end? How wary of you of that? And is your mindset quite similar to after day one here? You got your 100, it was quite a triumphant moment, but you were very clear that you've won nothing yet. There's a long way to go. Is that sort of a parallel, if you like?
That's exactly how it is. You know, India are a very proud team. They've got a fantastic record at home. And, you know, they've got some wonderful individual players that will be hurting right now and that will want to prove a point when they come to play again. So if we get the opportunity to get ahead in the game in the second test match, we have to grab it with both hands. We have to be ruthless. And we have to make sure that we do everything that we did well in this game again and better. And that's all we can ask of the players is to try and recognise those moments. Someone stand up and get, you know, a really big individual score and build those big partnerships that set the game up. And again, when we come to bowl, can we build pressure for long periods of time? Can you take it on yourself to be the guy that cracks an end open like Jimmy did today and make real inroads into their batting order? Yeah, they're a very good team. We know that. We know that we can't be dismissive of what we've seen this week and expect a real fight for the rest of this series.
Okay, John and then Dean, please.
Joe, hi. The Anderson over, bowling 2 high-class players in the space of 3 balls and within a whisker of an LBW with the ball in between. Can you remember a better over by an England bowler in your time?
I can't think of one in my time. It reminded me a little bit of Flintoff in 05 and the impact of that over to Ponting and Langer slightly. But in the context of this game, it was huge. And when you're looking around big moments of test matches, you look around and you see someone like Jimmy Anderson. Naturally, you expect that from him. Likes of Ben Stokes coming on and taking the wicket of Virat Kohli. Big game players, they stand up and they do special things. And it's a great example for all the young guys around to go out and you know, see that. I want to be part of that. I want to be the one doing that. All the guys sat watching on the side, all the guys on the field as well. Not just the bowlers, not just the spinners as well, but the batters. They should see that they're those big moments that you have to grasp. And if you want to win series in these conditions against a side as good as India, they're the things that you have to get right.
Thank you.
Okay, Dean, last one, and then we'll take one from Vishesh Roy at the end. Go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, hi Joe, well played. Just wondered a little bit about the lack of crowds and how you managed to kind of cope with that. And I wondered whether or not there was anything to the sense that by not having a home crowd, that allows you just to kind of get on with your job and kind of create your own atmosphere. And, you know, is that actually working for an away team at the moment?
Well, we certainly miss our fans. The travelling fans and the support that we have are fantastic. So it's obviously a big loss to us that they're not here, and to be able to enjoy a week like this alongside the guys playing. But in terms of how we go about things, I don't think it changes much. I think at times in these conditions, in this heat, it can seem to go a little bit flat, and it's really important that guys take it upon themselves to try and create a bit of theatre, try and create a bit of an atmosphere out there on the field. But ultimately, it's about delivering your skill time and time again, being ruthless, like I keep talking about, and finding a way of getting the game on your terms. So it might be very different next week when there's a few people in the ground, and I'm sure that'll improve the aesthetics of Test cricket even more. But we look at some of the other games that have been happening around the world right now, and it's a great time to be playing the game for Test cricket. A wonderful game in Bangladesh, Pakistan as well, hosting South Africa, and 2 brilliant Test matches there. And for us to be winning out here off the back of a sensational series in Australia, I think the game's as strong as it's been in a long time, and it's a really exciting year ahead with especially for English fans, with the amount of cricket that we've got coming up. And we just need to keep trying to find ways of performing as we are, because it's really fun to play in, and I'm sure it's really fun to watch too.
Thanks.
Okay, last one, Vishesh.
Hi, Joe. Congratulations on the victory. I just wanted to ask about the declaration yesterday. Michael Vaughan, Shane Warne, Kevin Peterson were all thought that you should have declared earlier. So I just wanted to ask whether you declared a bit late, throwing India's win out of the window, or were you sure that the pitch would deteriorate further and you wanted to give your bowlers the best chance?
Yeah, I mean, we could have declared earlier, for sure we could have, but I wanted to make sure that there was only 2 results possible within this game. I wanted to make sure that we turned up today with a ball that was still hard and that was going to be able to explore that up and down bounce for both the seamers and the spinner. And as well, just give a little bit extra time for our bowlers to be absolutely ready to go. We wanted to get to 400, and then we wanted to press the accelerator quite firmly. It didn't quite materialise like that, but having spent the amount of time out there as I did, I felt like actually there's the way that the pitch had deteriorated from the first time I batted to when I came in the second innings, it was quite significant, and that actually it was going to be really important that we had those runs on the board. It's a very fast outfield. It's a very small ground. British have pattern bats for a session. It can make things quite interesting. So more than anything, I didn't want the pressure of having to contain as well as trying to take wickets on our bowlers. I wanted to make sure that they could just concentrate on trying to find ways of taking wickets on that wicket, on that surface, sorry. And know that we were always going to create 10 chances. We just had to be very disciplined and make sure that we took them when they came. And we're excellent, and we're sat here with a session and a half still to go in the game, having won. So we could have done it earlier. I'm just glad it's turned out how it has.